internship wanting to look at a rural healthcare system because I've only ever really known urban healthcare systems living in like the Hampton Roads area and then of course near Richmond. So I don't have personal experience inside of an urban healthcare system, but as a patient, I've been very satisfied with the care that I've given based on like resources, transportation to and from my appointments, appointment locations, and things like that. But all of those factors that I just mentioned are all disparities when you're talking about a rural healthcare system. Because doctors and practitioners don't want to work in rural facilities, and so it makes hospitals and practices very understaffed and under a lot of pressure to continue operating and providing services. And there's a lot of mistrust from the residents because of high turnover with practitioners and things like that. And going off of that, there's just fewer locations for these practices, and so then transportation for the residents is really hard because they have to drive a long way to get to their appointments, and a lot of times it leads them to just deciding not to go to their appointments, and they end up putting their health on the back burner. So when I started at the Health Wagon, I wanted to kind of see how accurate these disparities were, considering how small of a town Wise, Virginia is. And before I started my internship, all I kept hearing about Wise was how in the middle of nowhere it was. And that was really what I wanted to hear before going into a 2-month commitment to live there by myself. But what I found was actually a very impressive operation. The beginning of the Health Wagon started as a mobile unit that went around providing medicine and professional health care to residents in rural Virginian areas that couldn't travel to get seen by a provider. And today the Health Wagon has 5 mobile units that continue to go to over 10 different sites throughout the Southwest Virginia area, kind of combating the transportation disparity that a lot of other rural areas in the United States face. And they also have 3 stationary clinics that provide a variety of services, including primary medical, dental, vision, and even some specialty care. So over the summer, like in the middle, when gas prices were like really, really high, we saw a lot of patients who were unable to come to their appointments because they couldn't afford to pay for gas. And in one instance, we had a patient who called and she was like, "Can you put my medications on one of the mobile units so that when they come closer to where I live, I can go get them there instead of driving all the way to the clinic?" And I was really surprised when the provider there was like, "Yeah, we can totally do that for her." And I was confused because I was like, "Don't you need to go to a pharmacy to get your medication?" But then the provider was telling me about the Pharmacy Connect program that they work with, where they provide patients with free medication, and then the medications get sent to the Health Wagon, and that's how we were able to provide her medications to the mobile unit. And then I also got to experience the Health Wagon as a patient when I unfortunately got COVID during my internship. But I was seen like very fast first thing in the morning when I decided like, oh, I don't really feel good. And they gave me medications to help with my symptoms, detailed instructions on like what to do next, and I even got a monoclonal antibody infusion at one of the stationary clinics that I hadn't seen before, so it was kind of 2-in-1, got to see him at the clinic even though I was sick. And my COVID symptoms were pretty rough. It wasn't like a simple cold. I was really going through it, but I was very pleased overall with the care and attention that I got, especially as a new patient, getting seen so quickly. And this kind of applies to my takeaways as a whole of the Health Wagon because they are in a very rural area, but I think they know that and they know there are so many disparities. So what I saw was them really actively trying to work against making those disparities worse. And so I was very honored to get to work there and kind of be a part of that for a little bit of the summer. And of course, I would like to thank my faculty mentor, Dr. Lee, for letting me think and helping me connect my academic interests with this internship. And then also the CCE for also allowing me to